Yep. October 23rd, 2021. Halfcast 167, episode 167. Let's go. Happy Saturday, you guys. Hope everyone's weekend is going well. Of course, I have a few things to share with you. An evening of reflection. Yo. Shall we? A Pennsylvania man who called 911 died after dispatch hung up when he didn't speak in English, complaint says. So I thought that this is what I thought, and I'm here to learn along with you guys. Maybe we figure it out together. I thought that when you call the police immediately, especially nowadays with the internet and stuff, they give you your location. So regardless if you hang up or whatever, somebody is still going to show up just to do a wellness check anyway. Yeah, and also why don't we have any type of translation software going through this our our infrastructure? So when you say 911 emergency, this is like part of the nuts and bolts of our infrastructure as communication networks. So shouldn't we at least have and a translation, something with translation? I know we have multilingual people in dispatch offices, but in the event that these things happen, we should have at least some rudimentary type of software that can translate to at least get you to the person that speaks your native language. A man died after a 911 dispatch hung up on him when he wouldn't speak in English. A lawsuit said, I want to know who the hell answered that call because you just cost somebody their life. Roberto Santiago Jr. called 911 to report a fire last year, but he spoke in Spanish on the call. He and his 14-year-old nephew died because dispatch hung up, the lawsuit alleges. And if we fit first off, who fielded the call, right? We need to know that. And then we need to know, was the call disconnected due to like a software malfunction? Like, did the person purposely disconnect the call? If so, why didn't he ring back or she ring back? Or did the equipment just cut the call? A forklift operator at a Pennsylvania Walmart died after 911 dispatch hung up on him when he called in and didn't speak in English, a lawsuit filed in federal court says, and that's fucked up. The man, 44-year-old Heriberto Santiago Jr., called 911 in July 20th when a fire broke out in his Lehigh, Pennsylvania home. He had been in the house with his 14-year-old nephew, Andres Javier Ortiz. When Santiago reached the dispatcher, believed to be a woman named Sonia O'Brien, he attempted to notify her of a fire in his home and frantically begged for emergency assistance. I don't care what language you speak or what language you don't speak. Fired and somebody's frantic should be like the bare bones, get an address. Fires, you should know that in all. That should pretty much be universal. Yeah, or just the nature in someone's voice, hearing them highly agitated or nervous or something like that. Read the room. You don't always have to understand somebody's language fluently to know what the hell they're talking about. Jeez. And yeah, just enough information to get the address, to know where the hell, like, but the dispatcher did not speak or understand the Spanish language. Did she even try? Do you even need to know Spanish to understand when somebody's give me your address? What is the problem? It's a fire. Okay. Like, that's it. That's all you really need to know. Did not speak or understand the Spanish language, nor did she utilize a Spanish language helpline, nor did any dispatcher assist her in this regard? Did she ask for help? Of course, there's going to be somebody there that speaks another language. Of course, she allegedly instructed Santiago to speak in English before hanging up on him, according to the complaint. You sentenced this man to die because you didn't want to take the steps to properly go through this call. Yeah, as a result of the 911 dispatcher's Miss O'Brien's lack of training, uncaring, I would say uncaring more than trained, lack of training, negligent, that's a good word for it, reckless and outrageous conduct and hanging up on Mr. Santiago and failing to take all the steps to provide emergency assistance. This is your job. Here it is. A Puerto Rican woman who served as administrator said supervisors and dispatchers frequently referred to individuals of Latino and Hispanic descent as you people, which it shouldn't be you people. It should just be like, this person needs help. This is a person, a man or a woman or a child in distress. White dispatchers, I should not have to tell you guys this. White dispatchers in the past have openly said they do not like taking calls from Spanish people. Well, then find something else where, yeah, it's a new world. It's 2021, and we live in a country where there's people who just speak more languages than English. Jesus Christ. Grow up. Burglary victim told to collect evidence on his own due to police staffing shortage. Yo, we are all talk about a self-help line. Talk about a pull up a pump your own gas or self-serve. Now police got a self-serve line now. Hey, don't let it be me, because I'll be like, yo, well, they stole the Picasso. I had the Lamborghini, was under the tarp in the backyard. It was out for, yup, I'll tell them everything. Yup. We had matching his or her Rolexes. I ain't even got a wife. I would even tell them I had a wife. How much they stole her too? How much do I get? She got to get me that should be worth a pretty penny. Staffing shortfalls are being blamed after a police department reportedly suggested to a burglary victim in Texas that he collect evidence on his own. Like, what's supposed, you know what? If I got to collect the evidence on my own, if I got to do all the police work, this goes back to a story. It didn't make the cut out on this show. I cut the article out that the woman was she had to identify her own rape victim. Like, yeah, so what are we doing? What is this as police? And you already got people crying like defund the police and all this stuff is going on. You people are looking bad out there. Over the last 3 months, Kirk Andrews reported multiple burglaries at the business he owns, Petticoat Fair Lingerie in North Austin, according to a report from KView. Despite this ongoing issue, Andrews said he did not get much of a response from local police. They're still in panties. So what? Yeah, tell us when they let us know when the real crime happens. Kirk, you sell draws for a living. What do you want from us? That's what you sell panties for a living. Jesus. Due to the nature of the crime and the manpower that the department has, I had a guy come in the back door, grab a rack of clothing. So a guy came in the back door and grabbed the rack of fucking drawers and jump in. I joke, but it's fucked up. And jump in a getaway car, a shop. So somebody actually, okay, so the robbery is bad by itself. The burglary is horrible by itself. But somebody planned multiple times to rob a lingerie store. Like, what? So nothing else is available? That must be the easiest. Where's the fence? Who's buying this shit? I saw him walking around and started watching him. With this footage in hand, Andrews reached out to the Austin Police Department again. After calling 911 initially, he was told to call 311 and share his. So what did the cops tell him? Like, oh, so you got the video? Well, shit, that's surveillance. That's half the job right there. Why don't you get the evidence? And yeah, so they just walked them through how to do the shit himself. I had no idea how this system worked. That 311 takes information. Andrews explained. I thought 311 is when there's like no heat. there's no heat or hot water in your house during the wintertime. Like, yeah, I thought, yeah, is that really? I don't think 311 fields crime calls. It's not a police report because that's not their job, is to handle police situation. After giving his information, Andrews did not hear back from the police for another 2 weeks. Once they finally got back to him, their response was not particularly helpful. Said, yeah, do a DIY burglary case. According to Andrews, the department said that the incidents boiled down to shoplifting and that they were too short staffed to put any officers on the case. Get out of here. Get out of here. As of October 1st, Austin police made it a policy to not send any officers to a scene where individuals are not in immediate danger or a suspect is not present. This change is meant to free up available offers for more serious calls. Like, what else is more serious? What else is more serious? This is when things get bad. This is when you get vigilantes. This is when people start taking the law into their own hands. And yeah, this is exactly, I don't see this ending well at all. Next up. Let's be adults. Perv dressed as woman hid camera on sneakers to record naked girls in ladies' bathroom. And I've said this a couple times before that you're in a pretty bad situation if you think this is like anybody who people don't do sexy things in the bathroom. People don't do sexy things when they know nobody's looking. Like, so if you think that you're just gonna dress up as a woman and see other women in the bathroom shooting themselves with whipped cream and doing everything and doing, no, you're not gonna see that. You're gonna see them doing all the shit that they don't want to see that they don't want their men to see them doing when they're out in public. They do the same thing guys do, except they're just women. Maybe worse, like changing personal products, doing like, yeah, changing makeup. You're not gonna find anybody, especially in a public bathroom. You're not gonna find anybody doing. People barely do sexy things when they know they're being recorded. The An Amazon delivery driver went to extreme to record girls and women using a bathroom at a Massachusetts outlet mall. Ew. Going as far as disguising himself as a woman and attaching a pin camera to his sneakers to secretly film his victims. Authorities say you're not going to find anything that's remotely. You got to have a real weird fetish to want to see somebody in a public bathroom that's used by hundreds of people every day. It makes my stomach hurt. Jacob Guerrero, 23, was arrested on 12 counts of possession of child pornography after police found a series of videos of nude or partially nude victims as young as 8 years old on his phone, according to police in Rentham, a town near the border with Rhode Island. This is just sick. Yeah, the accused perv, who was from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, was initially arrested on September 2nd following an investigation into a disturbing incident at Renton outlets about at an outlet store. Anywhere is horrible. But that case, you're in places where people are pretty much they're pretty much rolling out of bed and going to these places. Some of them probably haven't even washed their face or anything. It's just, yeah, that case, I'm sorry. The case involved a complaint from customers who reported seeing a man dressed as a woman acting suspiciously in a ladies' room. The culprit was donning a blonde wig as he was seen entering a bathroom stall next to a group of women and girls who were around 12 to 15 years old, according to the police. An initial investigation revealed the suspect appeared to have a pin camera attached to his sneakers. So, what? Making it easier for him to secretly record unsuspecting victims and later watch the footage on a computer or a smartphone. You're actually going the distance. Why don't you just spend the $4 and get a OnlyFans? The pen camera, what you pay for the pen camera and that whole getup of a blonde wig would probably get you a year subscription to OnlyFans. A review of surveillance video at the outlet mall led police to Guerrero, who was arrested on a charge of photographing an unsuspecting nude person. The suspect was released on bail the same day, but police continued to investigate the case. They obtained a warrant for Guerrero's personal vehicle and cell phone, which turned up 12 videos of women who were filmed without their knowledge, including 5 who were under 18 years old, according to the police. Seven of them were estimated to be between 8 and 11 years old. What is he facing? Is he facing? He needs to be facing like something heavy for this. Subscribe and comment. Let me know you rocking with your boy. Meth stabbed the PA mom on meth stabbed a man in the heart after argument over food. Told stranger that the victim was trying to hug her. A 28-year-old Center County, Pennsylvania woman who authorities say has a history of abusing meth now faces a third-degree murder charge for stabbing a man to death back in April 21. Brittany Guswhite, you sure it wasn't a man that was just like, you look horrible, sweetheart. You need a hug, a hot meal and a hug, and she stabbed him in the back. Do you have any meth? No, get away from me. In the heart following an argument over food on April 8th, then told the stranger that the stabbing was an accident and the victim was just trying to give me a hug. Like, does that make it any better? Either or? Wow. These are some of the details about the killing that have been reported so far by WTAJ. Court records obtained by Law and Crime show that Gishwhite of Bellefonte, PA, faces multiple charges: third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter resulting from provocation by the individual, aggravated assault. Provocation, he tried to either hug you or feed you, and that provoked you to kill somebody? Aggravated assault and possession of a controlled substance. Hopped up on meth. You probably thought he was a monster. Records also show that Guswhite, a mother to a 4-year-old girl, has had several run-ins with the law enforcement over the years, mostly for speeding and infractions like driving without a registration card or driving an unregistered vehicle. The disposition of 2014 and 2016 cases for retail theft and disorderly conduct is listed as waived for court. Damn. After the purported food argument, Guswhite allegedly barricaded herself in a bedroom and then came out of that room with a knife. What? The suspect threatened to stab Farwell if he approached her. And what did he do? He approached her. She followed through on that threat, according to cops. The suspect's young daughter was reportedly in the residence at the time of the stabbing and woke up from her slumber as a result of the violence. Now, that was fucked up. The suspect herself was described as having a history of erratic, spastic behavior and paranoia as a result of regular meth use. Guswhite allegedly tested positive for meth hours after the killing. She was high. Police say the murder weapon was found in the kitchen sink at the scene. The drug possession charge stems from meth that was allegedly found in a vehicle. That story, y'all. Interrupted threesome results in 2 deaths. Abuse of a corpse. Since when did a threesome not bring anything but fun times? An Indiana woman is behind bars after police found a dead man and an injured woman after a threesome went awry. How does this happen? This is supposed to be like Christmas every time. Cop says the ugly scene ensued when Heidi Kathleen Carter seemingly contacted the victims through a dating app. That's what happens. Stranger danger, and was engaging in sex acts with them when a second man entered the home. Who was the second man? The Courier Press reports that man allegedly became enraged and began to beat the victims with a baseball bat. Was that supposed to be his husband, or was it like a setup? Carter, 36, is believed to have helped that unidentified suspect restrain the victims. Oh, it was a setup. It was up. The male victim appears to have been choked to death. Police say Carter, who was armed with a gun, along with the male assailant, sexually assaulted the female victim. Both victims have reportedly been restrained for hours. Jesus. Cops said that according to Carter, she cooperated with the male assailant to appease him. It sounds like a setup. Police were notified of the bizarre situation, bizarre indeed, when a cleaning lady came to visit the home for a landlord inspection. The woman allegedly sat on what she thought was a pile of beddings, which turned out to be a battered corpse. How about being that lady? When you think you're just sitting on like a blanket or a cushion or something, and it turns out to be a dead body. How's that for Halloween? Officers shot and killed the male suspect, whom they say was brandishing an object that appeared to be, but was not a firearm when they arrived. They claim he was attempting to die via suicide by a cop. Two teenagers were reportedly inside the home with multiple pets, and another adult whom police have not identified as a suspect. Yeah, somebody come over to just chill after they just killed all these people. Like, yeah, we're gonna have wings and Netflix. Yeah, it's gonna be a family night right after they kill somebody. This is horrible. Sounds like a setup. Fun show, fun show, fun show. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you can catch this ride with me next time. That being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.